Hey guys! Welcome to my chords video. Today I'm going to teach you guys some of the chords that I use. They're kind of weird variations. So, quick story time. In around 2010, I decided to start playing guitar. We had this really old guitar of my great aunt's. It was like a tiny, child-sized guitar, and it didn't really hold a tune very well. But I sat with that guitar, some chord charts I printed out from the internet, and some songs I printed out from Ultimate Guitar, and I taught myself chords, and I taught myself how to play guitar. And it took 2-3 years before I was comfortable enough to play in front of people, like at a performance or anything like that. So it took quite a long time. Because I'm pretty much completely self-taught, there's a lot of weird things that I do that aren't like correct, or things that I never learned how to do that most like beginning guitarists would learn in lessons. Chord explanation. There's 2 keys that I play in pretty frequently. 3.5-ish that I play in a little less frequently, but do sometimes play songs in. So I'm gonna go through those ones first probably because it'll be a shorter explanation. So all of my chords I either get from ultimateguitar.com, which I will link for you in the description, or I sit down with usually a YouTube video, sometimes a Spotify if there's no YouTube video, of the song that I want to cover, and I just sit down and play it out by ear to figure it out. I have been slowly uploading all my collection of the chords that I figured out by myself to Ultimate Guitar, if there's not like a better version up already by the time I try to upload. I can also link you guys to my Ultimate Guitar account. If there's any chords that you don't see up there that you want me to upload now, you can go ahead and leave those in the comments as well, and I can try and get to those soon. This is a key that I don't really play much in, and I pretty much play it standard, but usually you would see the chords are just a regular D, A, and then B minor, which I don't know how to play, so I usually play an E minor, and then G. I call that the Taylor Swift key because a lot of Taylor Swift songs from like the early days are in that key, which is why I know it. So normally there would be a B minor, but that's a bar chord, and I don't know how to play bar chords. Instead of B minor, I just play E minor. So those are just standard chords. You can just Google like what those chords are, and they'll come up. So like I said, that's D, A, and then I play E minor, and I think it sounds cool. It sounds kind of weird, but it's not quite the next chord that you're expecting, but I think it sounds cool. On Ultimate Guitar, there's that handy little transpose button, so you can actually put songs in whatever key that you want. You can put them in the key that suits your voice best. All the capo does is it just changes the key. People that play bar chords can actually play without a capo, and they can play in whatever key they want with bar chords, but I can't do that, so I use a capo a lot. So that's a D, and then if you put the capo on one, you just play the D here. So all it does is each fret on the guitar, it takes it up a half step. The next key I want to talk about is, I don't know what these keys are called, I'm sorry. Somebody with more musical know-how could probably tell you. The normal chord progression in this key is F, and then C, and then A minor, and then G. I pretty much play that one pretty normally, except I learned this, it's kind of, I don't know what it's called, it's an F modification, but it actually makes F a little bit easier. F is officially a bar chord, so you're supposed to bar the 2 bottom strings in the first fret and then play these 2. I can't do that. I do the cheater version of F, where you put your finger on the 2 strings instead of barring it with 1 finger, and then play it like that. So I actually learned this other version of F that I think I like the way it sounds better, I think so, and it's a little bit easier, so I just play that usually. And it's just so first finger on the B, second finger on G, third finger in the 2nd fret, third finger on D in the 3rd fret. So the difference is this is regular F. This is my other version. And I like it. I think I learned that when I was trying to play Falling Slowly, maybe. I actually put the chords in like the same order I was playing them before. The chords can go in different orders in different songs and stuff. That's not like a rule. that's with the normal F, and then with my weird F, my F modification, it's like this. So when I'm playing in that key, sometimes I play the normal F and sometimes I play the weird one. It just kind of depends, and if I upload the chords, it's just gonna say F. So it's kind of up to you, whichever one you guys like better when you're playing the song. Really, when you're playing guitar, it's what you like better. Even if you're doing a cover, the whole point of a cover is to make it different from the original. So if you want to mess with the chords, go for it, even in a cover, and then in an original, obviously, that's your song. Like I said, I just play whichever one I prefer. Whichever one I like the sound of better. A lot of times it's this one though, because I think it adds something. That's the weird F. That's my modified F. Alright, we're going to talk about the half key that I mentioned. It's not really a different key from, there's G, E minor, C, D. And that's one of those I'm going to go over like really in depth in a sec. But let me go over, there's this kind of like a minor version of that key, I guess. I don't know. It's just, it's a little bit darker. And I kind of made up part of it. I guess. I mean, it exists. I'm sure it exists and people play it. I just didn't learn it from other people. I did it myself and thought it sounded kind of cool. Usually I just play, there's only 3 chords I play in that key. So this is a C major 7, I think. It's, so it's first finger, 2nd fret, D, D string, and 2nd finger, 3rd fret, A string. And then you play normal E minor. And then you play the top 2 strings of a D chord, but not the 3rd one. So that's first finger, G string, 2nd fret, 2nd finger, 3rd fret, B string. So it's a C major 7, E minor. And then this half D thing, I don't know what it's called. And then sometimes I also play this guy, which I learned from If I'm Lucky by State Champs, because he plays a C, whatever this is, and then this thing. So in that song it's, and then. So I like this chord a lot too, so sometimes I throw that one in there. And it functions as a D, so if you see a D somewhere, if you want to play in this key, you can just modify, like, if it says C, you play the C major 7. If it says E minor, you just play E minor. If it says D, you can either play this half D that I told you about, or you can play this guy, which is basically a C, but so a normal C is on frets 1, 2, 3, you just move it up to 3, 4, 5. And it's quite a nice chord. So I write in that key a lot. I don't play a lot of covers in that key though. Alright, so now we're going to get into the 2 keys that I play in the most often. I'll start with the easy one, or easier one. So the normal key is G, C, E minor, D. And those are the standard chords that you get when you Google them. So what I do is I play these modified versions, usually, pretty much always. I kind of like them better than the original versions, so I learned them playing some Taylor Swift songs on Ultimate Guitar. I might actually link you to them because that'll give you like a nice chord chart for these chords that I'm playing. But so for the G, you play a normal G, but then you want to add, so a normal G, you would just have your 3rd finger on the high E string in the 3rd fret. Right, and that would be your only one on the bottom, like 4 strings. So in the modified version, you do your 3rd finger on the B string in the 3rd fret, and then your pinky finger on the high E string. So let me play the difference for you again. So this is normal G, and this is modified G. I think it gives it a more like full sound, and I'll find that this G, the modified one, is listed as G in some chord charts, so that one, usually when I'm playing, even when I'm playing in a different key, I'll use this version for G, whereas I won't do that with other chords. That's G. So what you're gonna do for the rest of this key is keep those two, your pinky finger and your, is that your ring finger? I think it's your ring finger. You're gonna keep those two in place and just don't move them ever in the song, like if you're playing in that key. So you'll do a G, and then for a C, you'll literally just move those top two fingers down one. So if you're looking at a C chord, it's like a C chord without the first finger on the first fret, and then with the two bottom. So, and then for an E minor, you'll play an E minor, but with the two bottom. I've seen this one called Emaj7, and actually I've seen the C called Cadd9, but I don't know if those are the real official names or not. So, G, C, and like I said, an E minor. And then for a D, you're just gonna go down and play that first string of a D, plus you're gonna keep those two. And sometimes I actually play a D like this, so I put my first finger here on the low E string in the second fret, and like leave my middle finger here, just kind of vibing, not on a string. So that sounds like this. And you could also, even if you want to add some extra spice there, play it like this. So that's a combination of both, basically. You're putting your first finger on the low E string, like I said, and then your second finger on the G string in the second fret. So the difference, so this is the D, this is the lower one, and this is both. So it's however you want to play that. I usually play this key, so if the song says G, C, E minor, D, I'll play it with those modifications. So I'll play the G, the C, the E minor, and then the D. Whichever version of the D that you like. So like I said, I'm going to put the chord charts for those down in the description because it's probably easier for you. A link to the song. I'll put a link to the song that I got them from. So yeah, somebody called those Wonderwall chords in a comment once, which I was like, you know, that's fair. I think those are Wonderwall chords. So sometimes I also throw in a modified version of an A minor, which I kind of made up, like I said, again, I just didn't learn that from somebody else, but it probably existed. But so for the A minor, you keep those two bottom ones there, but in the same place. But you move, basically you're moving the E minor down one, so each finger down one. So if it says A minor, I'll usually play that. So that's first finger on D string and second finger on G string. And for a B minor, I'll often, if there's a B minor in the song, I'll lift that second finger and just play. So you keep the two bottom ones, like I said, always. And then you leave your first finger on the D string. And I'll play that for a B minor. So that's that key. B, C, E minor, D, A minor, B minor, G. Okay. So that's that key. Like I said, I play those chords in place of, so when it says G, I'll play, you know, or when it says E minor, I'll play the Emaj7. I play in that key a lot. It was one of my favorites until I discovered this next / last one that I'm going to show you. Alright, so here's the last key that I usually play in. This one's kind of probably the trickiest one. So the key is E, and then, so it's E, A, C sharp minor, B, and I can't play C sharp minor or B because they're bar chords. So I learned these from an All Time Low song. I'll link it down in the bottom there. Running from Lions, in case you're wondering. And they have really long, complicated names in that I can't remember most of the time. So I'm just gonna call these chords E, A, C sharp minor, and B, but they're not. None of them are the straight chords. They're modifications of them. So you'll hear the difference. E and E. So this one kind of sounds a little more open, and I like the way it sounds better. I like the way it sounds. So I think I would prefer to play in this key, even if I could play C sharp minor and B. But so it's E, and then so it is, you're all the way, so for this one's, it's a pretty easy key because for 3 of the chords you're playing the exact same shape, you're just sliding them along the fret, so you get a lot of these gnarly. See, hear that squeak? The E I play like this, and then you're all the way up here in the 7th fret, 8th, and 9th fret. So you're playing your first finger on the A string, and then your second finger is on the D string, and your third finger is on the G string. So first finger is in, gotta keep counting the frets. First finger's in the 7th fret, and then the other 2 are in the 9th fret. So it should sound like that. And then what you're gonna do is you can hold that shape and you move it to, you can move it down here to the 4th and 6th fret and play C sharp minor. And then B is gonna be in the 2nd and 4th fret. And then for A, you're gonna take, you're gonna completely forget that shape and go down to D string and G string, and both, you're gonna play both of those in the 2nd fret. So it's like, I think it's an A suspended something, but it sounds like that. So it's E, C sharp minor, B, A. So in that key, so when I'm playing in that key, those are the chords that I use instead of the actual ones. So like I said, again, it's totally up to you, whatever you want to play. Alright, so that's it. Those are the keys that I usually play in. I hope you learned something that was helpful. And like I said, if there's any songs you want me to upload the chords to Ultimate Guitar, go ahead and let me know, and I will link you guys to my Ultimate Guitar profile so you can follow and see, you know, as I post more chords if you're interested. Alright, thanks for watching. Bye!